Good afternoon, agents. So, last night we had a stream. It was a good stream. We had a lot of fun. But we ran into a group that were pretty good players. I mean, they killed us quite a few times. And that's not a problem. Getting killed, killing in the DZ, the Dark Zone, it's all fine and good. It's part of the game and it's fun. But I've realized what's wrong with the Dark Zone and the Division and why it'll never be fixed no matter what changes they implement. And the problem isn't the game. The problem is us. The whole community as a whole is toxic, unfortunately, because you get keyboard or console warriors behind the screen saying and doing whatever they feel like saying and doing. The problem is that you forget that there's a person behind every agent. So, when you run around the Dark Zone talking absolute trash, being toxic, it really destroys the game. You shouldn't, in my opinion, you shouldn't be saying things that you wouldn't say in public life. Now, if that's the way you talk in public life, well, you have a serious problem. But running around the board, calling people racist names, making racist comments, making sexist comments, and even just negative comments, like calling somebody a bitch. And I'm guilty of it too. I have done it. But we're all part of the problem. And I think that until we all clean up our act and start behaving like normal people, the way we would in real life. And I kind of think, you know what, maybe you should talk the way you would talk in front of your parents. Some people might say I'm being a pussy, I don't know. But I think there's no place in the game, no place anywhere for these types of comments, especially the racist comments. It is destroying the game. It's destroying the community. And until we stop that, it doesn't matter what changes they implement in the Dark Zone, because it will never change. Yeah, I don't mind clapping on bodies and jumping jacks. That's all kind of funny. It's part of the game. It's hilarious. I hope they come up with some better emotes. You can flip people off, hopefully. That'd be great. Or put your dukes up. I saw that one to start a fight. That's all funny. But you have to remember when you play this game that it is a game. It's a game to have fun. But there are real people playing it. And when you spew racist, toxic content into a stream or into the game so that other people can hear you, that destroys the enjoyment of it. The other night I had one of my buddies get so pissed off that he stopped talking and didn't want to play, and I understand. I've gotten that way too. And you can say, oh, you're being salty. Nobody's salty over getting killed. If you are, well, then you shouldn't be playing this game. But absolutely, people will get salty and will get upset and hurt with indignant, disgusting talk. And that's what happens in the Dark Zone. I realize that Massive has set it up this way. It's an interesting social experiment. I've said many times it brings out the worst in people and the best in people, but more often the worst. Do whatever you want, kill whoever you want, go on manhunt. That's all great. That's all part of the game. But please, guys, do not, I repeat, do not talk to people as if they are subhuman. Don't go out and start saying things that you wouldn't say in public. If you would stand in the middle of the mall and start spewing racist comments, I guess that's just a slimy human you are. But if you wouldn't, and I bet you wouldn't, you really shouldn't do it in the Dark Zone, because it is what is destroying this game. So for all of you players, and I find it more with the young players, but not necessarily. Sometimes it's adults like me. If you find yourself uttering these things, maybe stop and think about it, because you don't know who you're playing against. You don't know the person behind the agent. And more importantly, it's a person. You just, you wouldn't walk up to a random stranger in the street and say, hey, you're a and this and whatever that, and you just wouldn't do it. So I don't know why people feel it's okay to do it behind the screen. I realize that there are keyboard warriors and console warriors that like to be tough or like to feel tough when they're playing the game. That's fine. But please remember, it's a game. It's a game being played by people just like you and me, and you just shouldn't do it. You just shouldn't talk to people like that. I hope you'll realize this. I hope you'll help me try to change things for the better and maybe correct people. You know, I tried to call somebody out the other night. They weren't hearing it. Maybe it was the way they were raised. Maybe they're too young to understand. Maybe they just think it's funny. But it is not funny. It is not entertaining to say the types of things that I keep hearing in the Dark Zone from many players. It's disgusting. It's sad. It's a real reflection on what's wrong with people in general. And I hope that we can improve it. I certainly am going to try my hardest to improve the way I play and the things that I say. And I hope that you will too. So with that being said, this is the end of this video, but please help me to help other people realize that you have to be good to each other. Have fun. It's a game. It's supposed to be fun. If you run around spewing filth and toxicity, we hear that a lot, toxicity, all the time. But if you're going to be a person that runs around and spreads that kind of disease, maybe gaming's not for you. Maybe you should be in therapy instead. It's really disgusting. It's disappointing. And it speaks volume about your character. I hope that things get better. I'm going to try and make things better. I'm going to try and help people see that what they're doing is wrong. People I normally run with are great. You know, we had people in the stream last night from Finland, from Asia, from the US, from Canada, from all South America, all over the world. That's what the game should be about. Bringing people together, social interaction, having fun, having some laughs, making some jokes, but not calling people names and spewing racist hatred forward. It's just not going to help anybody. It's disgusting. And I hope we can fix it. So until we fix that, agents, it doesn't matter what they do with the game, what changes they make, what buffs, what nerfs, who cares? It's us. It's all of us as a community. It's all of us as gamers. We seem to have lost our way, and I hope we find it back. Until then, guys, I'll see you in the Dark Zone.